A local community works to rebuild what was lost in a devastating downtown fire. In Athens, a painful history is revisited in hopes of honoring a lynching victim. And Ohio softball hits the road riding high after a series against Northern Illinois. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Good evening, I'm Ben Schwartz. Thanks for joining us. It's been a little over 2 weeks since a fire in downtown Pomeroy stunned the community, but as Caitlin Coolidge reports, the Meigs County business owners and residents are ready to rebuild.
Behind me is what is left of Mountaineer Metals in Pomeroy. The fire marshal is still investigating what caused the fire. Pomeroy resident Wilma Mansfield says she's thankful the fire at Mountaineer Metals didn't spread to other shops and that she appreciates what local businesses do for the town.
They give back to the community, so it's important to keep the community going, keep what services we do have available.
Pomeroy historian Jordan Pickens says the building was built in 1922 and has been the home of multiple businesses throughout the years. Business owner Eloise Drenner says she hates to see Mountaineer Metals or any business go away or shut down.
I hope to see them either rebuild or something else happen up there, but I would rather see them rebuild and be back into business.
Drenner says her store has faced its share of natural disasters, but she stays in Pomeroy because the community is supportive of local stores and restaurants and that more businesses have opened up.
You know, it's always good to have a big variety of different type businesses. On this block, a couple more opened up on this block.
Drenner says the Pomeroy Merchants Association also does a lot to support local businesses whenever there's a flood or accident like a fire. The most recent initiative by the association is the first annual Spring Fling event that encourages people to shop downtown all day today. Drenner says she hopes events like the Spring Fling can help counteract any fire or flood that may hit Pomeroy. For Newswatch, I'm Caitlin Coolidge.
The Spring Fling event runs until 8 tonight, and more events are planned for the month of April. As of now, it's not known if Mountaineer Metals will return to Pomeroy.
Good evening and welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm forecaster Adriana Davies, and for this past weekend in Athens, we did see some relatively beautiful temperatures. I know Saturday we hit a high of right around 70 degrees. We saw those rain changes that moved through and cooled everything off for today and yesterday, but we will get into these above average temperatures to end our week this week. But as for tonight in Athens, 29 degrees. Clouds are increasing as we move throughout the weekend. A chilly night ahead, but those light winds will keep that temperature right at that 29-degree mark. Taking a look at our regional map, like I said, 29 degrees in Athens, 29 up in Newark and Columbus as well. Our regional high over in Ripley. Those mostly cloudy skies will persist, keeping it mainly cool and right around that temperature degree mark. We do not have to worry about that wind chill making things feel any cooler than it is outside tonight. Overnight, hour by 8 p.m., we're looking at 42 degrees. Those winds will begin to calm, but you can see those clouds do begin to settle in by midnight, 36 degrees. And by 4 a.m., we're looking at a temperature of right around 32 degrees. So this is relatively cold for this time of the year. We just need to get through this evening, and we will be back on track to have those average temperatures, Ben.
Thank you, Adriana. 2 people are in custody after law enforcement officers seized the largest amount of crystal meth ever in the county. The Southern Ohio Drug Task Force stopped 23-year-old Alyssa Hinson and 22-year-old James Rutledge's vehicle in Lucasville, Ohio. A canine officer then found 2 pounds of crystal meth and also 14 grams of suspected heroin or fentanyl and more than $3,000 in cash. The estimated value of the drugs is more than $50,000. Both are charged with trafficking and possession of drugs. Athens police say there were 2 reports of sexual assault from this weekend. Both incidents reportedly happened yesterday in the early hours. Yesterday morning, APD responded to a sexual assault on Palmer Street. Then last night, a 20-year-old woman reported a rape on the south end of Athens. The police report indicates the suspect was known to the victim. The Equal Justice Initiative is a nonprofit that looks to commemorate racially motivated lynchings. Now an organization is looking to work with the initiative for that same reason. Newswatch reporter Stephen Hernandez is live in the newsroom with more. Stephen?
That's right, Ben. I got to speak with an organization here in Athens that is trying to commemorate a lynching that happened in the 19th century. I got to speak to some of these members and they told me just what this means and why is it so important. This is West Mulberry Street in Athens. It looks just like any other street in the city, but it is also the site of the Old South Bridge, where Christopher Davis was lynched in 1881. Now, the Christopher Davis Community Remembrance Project is working with the Equal Justice Initiative, or EJI, a nonprofit that is documenting all of the lynchings in America between 1880 and 1940. Ada Woodsum Adams says the project is about recognizing racial tensions of the city's past.
If we don't talk about it, if we don't analyze it, and then move forward with doing something positive about it, then the true American story will never be told.
The Remembrance Project is working with EJI in hopes to set up a historical marker. The first step, according to Susan Rigi, was to show that they had support from the community.
The mayor is on board, and we got a letter of support from the Mount Zion Historical Preservation Society.
Now, the committee has been facing a bit of a challenge trying to piece together exactly what happened around here. For starters, the Old South Bridge that used to overlook what used to be the Hocking River, well, it doesn't exist anymore, which means the committee has to rely on old photos and documents to figure out what happened around here.
We just dig into old newspapers, old documents, listen to any stories that people might have. Recently, someone told me that they might have had the rope, part of the rope that was used to hang Christopher Davis.
Davis lived in Albany, Ohio, and was accused of assaulting a woman in 1881. A few days later, a mob pulled him out of the jail and hung him over the South Bridge. Davis never received a trial. If all goes according to plan, a historical marker will be installed in 2020, making a little-known part of Athens history visible to all. For WOUB, I'm Stephen Hernandez. While the Remembrance Project hasn't been able to find any direct descendants to Christopher Davis, they do know for a fact that he was remembered by both his wife and his two children who lived out their lives mostly in Ohio.
Thank you, Stephen. A new lawsuit is seeking to refund more than $3 million to Ohio drivers. The suit claims the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles stopped its laminating services on driver's licenses in July, but continued to charge customers the fee. The class action lawsuit could apply to about 2 million Ohioans. Hospital workers in Kentucky and West Virginia are starting a new 3-year contract today. The agreement with Appalachian Regional Healthcare covers a variety of occupations, including practical nurses, nurse aides, and some technical employees. The contract covers more than 2,000 workers at 9 nonprofit hospitals. Details of the contract were not immediately released. A Kentucky man who prompted a nearly 9-hour SWAT standoff says he's not guilty. Daniel Allen was arraigned Saturday on several charges, including the attempted murder of 4 police officers. Police say Allen was wanted on several felony warrants. When police showed up, authorities say Allen used a stolen van to ram into police cruisers. A detective fired shots and hit Allen, who ran inside a home, prompting the standoff. Allen will appear in court again next Tuesday. Coming up, President Trump may want to keep immigrants out of the U.S., but Border Protection is doing the exact opposite. Plus, a college student's death is sparking discussions around the safety of ride-sharing companies like Uber and Lyft. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
Is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at woub.org. And thank you.
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, place. Break out of the box with PBS.
Welcome in, Hardwood fans. Now, as you know, we've already aired our season finale where you see all these great people behind me who made our all-hero and all-future teams. But that doesn't mean our coverage stops. There are still a lot of teams in the playoffs and games left to be played. So if you want to stay up to date with all that and all the other TVC action, then go follow our social media. Like us on Facebook, add us on Snapchat, and follow us on Twitter. And always remember to be heroic.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
Customs and Border Protection is releasing hundreds of migrants into Texas towns every day. Border Control says there is no room to hold them, while President Trump is threatening to close the border this week to stop migrants. Natasha Chen shows us how some of these migrants are being ushered into the U.S.
Arar Garcia can't remember which day he got to the U.S. It's been a blur. U.S. authorities gave him an ankle bracelet, and he's trying to get to a relative in Kansas, all to escape the dire economy and violence in Guatemala.
I worked on the fields, growing coffee plants.
He's one of at least 2,000 migrants who have already been dropped off by Customs and Border Protection into McAllen, Brownsville, and Harlingen because officials say there's just no room to hold them. In McAllen, CBP drops migrants off at Catholic Charities. If their U.S. relatives can buy them a bus ticket, they are then taken to the central bus station. Their long journey to the U.S. is now followed by confusion, a release with notices to appear in court, which many of them don't understand.
I explain to them what to expect up front. I tell them, immigration is going to ask you, where are you going?
Luis Guerrero is a volunteer who's seen and heard all their stories, including that of a 4-year-old girl whose family was robbed by men with machetes.
She said, I'll never forget you. And I said, why, Mama? She said, because you were the first one to tell us, welcome to the United States. That really hit me.
He helps all of them onto their next destinations. In McAllen, Texas, I'm Natasha Chen reporting.
The ACLU is demanding an investigation into an El Paso Border Patrol detention center. The group says border agents deprived hundreds of sleep, forced children to sleep on trash-covered gravel, and forced families to stand for prolonged periods of time. Coming up with new concerns over ride-sharing, we'll have safety tips for when you use Uber or Lyft.
And next on Newswatch, we're talking about high pressure dominating for the next few days and when our next rain chances are in the forecast, with some warmer temperatures to follow. Next on Newswatch.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at woub.org. And thank you.
Welcome in, Hardwood fans. Now, as you know, we've already aired our season finale where you see all these great people behind me who made our all-hero and all-future teams. But that doesn't mean our coverage stops. There are still a lot of teams in the playoffs and games left to be played. So if you want to stay up to date with all that and all the other TVC action, then go follow our social media. Like us on Facebook, add us on Snapchat, and follow us on Twitter. And always remember to be heroic.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
If you have bad allergies, just watching this video may be enough to make you sneeze. It shows green cloud pollen exploding from trees in Georgia's West Point Wildlife Management Area. The breeze from the prescribed burn helicopter knocked pollen off branches at every pass. Forget those graphs, charts, and official pollen counts. This video tells you all you need to know about the pollen problem in Georgia. Oh, and next, so our pollen forecast right now is looking to be relatively low. So on Monday, we're looking at a medium to low time for that pollen. Don't worry about that. And then we'll see those rain chances start to increase as we move throughout the week, which will end up increasing our pollen forecast for our Thursday and Friday. So keep that in mind. If you do have allergies, have that medicine on hand and be ready for that pollen to affect you into this week. So as for tonight, like I said, high pressure is going to dominate for the evening and into tomorrow as well. Not much is going on in our regional map for the next few days. We will see our next weather maker move through on Thursday and Friday. You can see the mess over the plains right behind me in Colorado and stuff like that. We do not need to worry about that just yet. That'll be up and coming for the rest of the week. Taking a look at our almanac for today though, 45 degrees was our high, which is relatively below average for this time of the year. We will move back into these normal temperatures as we move into tomorrow and the rest of the week this week. And our low for today was right around 20, and that low the normal low for this time of the year is 40 degrees. So keep that in mind too as you head out this evening. We will need to have jackets on hand. 31 degrees down in Ironton, 29 up in Columbus as well as Newark. Mostly cloudy skies for the area as well, 28 over in New Lexington. As for our overnight hour by 8 p.m. we're looking at 42 degrees. Those winds will be calming, making the temperature sit right around that typical temperature that too. We don't need to worry about any wind chills, but as we move throughout the evening as well, those clouds are going to increase. And chilly temperatures by 4 a.m. we're looking at 32 degrees. So below freezing is our low for this evening. As for our bus stop tomorrow as well, 31 degrees, a cold start to the day. Wear those layers though, because we're forecasting a high near 60. So you're going to want to peel those layers off as you head out the door. And by the end of the workday, it will be a really, really, really nice day. Those light winds to start to will make that 32 or that 31 degrees feel true to that 31. As for our tomorrow high, like I said, 58 degrees, passing clouds throughout the day though. It is going to be a beautiful day outside with winds from the south at 5 to 10 miles an hour. So like I said, take those layers. We'll start the day at 32 and we'll increase more than 20 degrees throughout the day. You're going to want to be able to peel those jackets and sweatshirts off as you head throughout the day. T-shirts by the end of the day for sure. Taking a look at our regional high map for tomorrow, 59 down in Ironton, 56 up in Newark and over in Columbus. Mostly clear skies, a passing cloud is possible, and those cloud chances will decrease throughout the day. Like I said, by 8 a.m., 32 degrees, by noon, we're looking at 47, warming up, and then by 4 p.m., sunny skies and 57 degrees. So it should be a beautiful day tomorrow. And taking a look at our 7-day forecast, a stunning week ahead. And like I said, the wild weather week though, some rain chances in our forecast for the week ahead. I know Ben, Mom's weekend is looking to be beautiful though. So if anyone has a mom coming down this weekend, be ready to be outside and enjoy that beautiful weather.
Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to the spring weather kind of settling in around here.
Should be nice. I'm very excited for it too.
Yes. So thank you for the forecast, Adriana. A typical Sunday night out with friends turned horribly tragic in South Carolina. Police say a 21-year-old student was killed after she got into what she thought was her Uber ride. The suspect, 24-year-old Nathaniel David Rowland, is in custody. But there are now questions about safety of ride-sharing apps and more. Mary Maloney has the details.
Surveillance video shows 21-year-old Samantha Josephson getting into what she thought was an Uber early Friday morning.
We believe that she simply mistakenly got into this particular car thinking it was an Uber ride.
14 hours later, hunters discovered her body in a field 90 miles away.
I cannot fathom how someone could randomly select a person, a beautiful girl, and steal her life away.
Police arrested 24-year-old Nathaniel David Rowland on charges of kidnapping and murder. Investigators say they found Josephson's cell phone inside Rowland's black Chevrolet Impala, along with her blood.
Further examination determined that there was what appeared to be blood present in the car.
Police say the child's safety locks were activated, making it difficult for anyone to open the rear doors from the inside. Rowland didn't attend his first hearing, but Josephson's mother did, with a message.
My daughter's name is Samantha Josephson. Don't ever forget her name. Samantha Josephson, shame on you.
Josephson's friends and family held a vigil to remember a woman who had so much life. Her death sparking new concerns about ride-sharing security. Experts say to make sure the license plate, driver photo, and driver name match what's listed in the app before getting in a car.
This could happen to anybody, and that's the point. We have to teach the young people how to be careful.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
A funeral service for Samantha Josephson will be held tomorrow in Princeton Junction, New Jersey.
I'm Thomas Garvick. After the break, the Ohio softball and baseball teams had a big weekend in Athens. Highlights of their 3-game sets against MAC opponents, and then later on in Newswatch, the Ohio women's basketball team attempted to make some more history Saturday night. Highlights of Ohio's WNIT quarterfinal matchup with Northwestern coming up shortly on Newswatch, and stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
Welcome in, Hardwood fans. Now, as you know, we've already aired our season finale where you see all these great people behind me who made our all-hero and all-future teams. But that doesn't mean our coverage stops. There are still a lot of teams in the playoffs and games left to be played. So if you want to stay up to date with all that and all the other TVC action, then go follow our social media. Like us on Facebook, add us on Snapchat, and follow us on Twitter. And always remember to be heroic.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Welcome back. I'm Thomas Garvick. The Ohio softball team has been red hot as of late. They've won 6 of their past 7 and look to get to 5-1 in MAC play on Saturday. Ohio closed out their weekend series against Northern Illinois. Saturday's game was the rubber match of the series. Ohio up 1-0 in the third. Again, Ohio 22-10 off to start the year. We're going to pick up action here in the third. Maddie McGrady in a bit of a jam. Ground ball hit to Katie Young, who fires this strike to home to save the run. Ohio kept it a 1-0 game heading into the fourth. They needed some offense, so they turn to Morgan, wait for it, Gino Wow, that ball was tattooed out of OSF. Her 13th of the year. Ohio up 2-0, but they opened the floodgates in the 5th. Yun at the dish, delivered earlier with the glove and now with the bat. Yun, give it a second, smacks into left field. One run's going to come in to score for Ohio. And then Gino doing what she does best. You just can't pitch to her. Everyone's coming home on this 3-run bomb. That caps off a 5-run 5th inning for Ohio. That's Gino's team-leading 14th big fly of the year. Bobcats going to win this one 8-4 to win the series. Now back on the road for their next 5 games.
As great as it's been being at home, since we've been so used to being on the road, it's almost might feel even more comfortable getting on a bus. I don't know yet. I think they're comfortable on the road. I love playing in front of our home crowd, but I think they're looking forward to kind of getting back into what their routine was.
Road games don't mean anything. It's just getting to beat people at their home. But we're going to relax, and then we're just going to go right back into it. A couple of days off is going to feel good, though.
Ohio heads to Kent State on Tuesday for a doubleheader. The Ohio baseball team was also in action over the weekend. Ohio desperately needed to get back on track against Bowling Green. Head coach Rob Smith called it a must-win series, and his guys delivered on that promise. Rudy Rott, boom, skyrockets that thing in the air, comes down for a homer. Ohio takes the 2-0 lead. Their offense has struggled all this year, but not on Saturday. To the 6th inning, Ohio up 8-2. Trevor Lucas at the dish, drills it to deep left. He's hustling out of the box. Once he realizes it's gone, he can take his sweet old time. Ohio wins Game 2 12-2. Now on to the rubber match of the series yesterday. We picked things up in the bottom of the second. Sebastian Fabek, boom, launches it to right center. That ball is getting down. Fabek motors his way to third for the 2-run tripper. Ohio takes the 3-2 lead. Ohio blew things wide open in the third. Michael Richardson rips it down the left field line. Just give it a second. Boom. It's going to catch up. There you go. Double, 1-run scores Ohio. That started a 5-run third inning. Ohio wins the rubber match 12-4.
I think it showed the ability to adjust and the resiliency to come in and stick to a plan. So, we were disappointed after Friday night. I don't think we made very good adjustments. Our plan wasn't very good. Our preparation was poor. It was good to see. It was a response that we needed, and hopefully this is something that gives us some confidence rolling into our third MAC series next weekend.
Ohio takes on Morehead State at Bob Bren tomorrow night at 6 p.m. The Ohio women's basketball team tried to reach another milestone Saturday night. Ohio was in Evanston, Illinois to take on Big Ten foe Northwestern for a spot in the WNIT semifinals. 2 minutes left to go, and this is where everything changed in the game. Amani Burke pushes off the defender. She's called for the offensive foul. That's number 5. Her night is over. Then it gets worse. Less than 40 seconds later, Ohio turns the ball over here, and Cece Hooks is going to go dive. She gets called for the foul, and that was her 5th, so her night is over as well. Ohio down 2 starters. Final seconds of the game. Ohio has a chance to tie it with a 3. Erica Johnson's going to get a nice look. She pulls it, Johnson, and it goes off front iron. Ohio falls to Northwestern in heartbreaking fashion, 61-58. Ben, it certainly was not the way that Ohio wanted things to end, but they finished the year 30-6, the 30 wins, a program record. They also reached the quarterfinals of the WNIT for the first time in school history. The good news, though, 4 of the 5 starters will be back next year, so bright future for the Bobcats.
Very, very exciting to hear, Tommy. So excited to see where they go next year. Now let's head over to Adriana for a final look at our weather.
Thank you, Ben. And tonight in Athens, we are looking at a low temperature of 29 degrees with those clouds increasing as we move throughout the evening. A chilly night ahead with some light winds to finish the evening this evening. As for tomorrow in Athens, our high is 58 degrees. A passing cloud or 2 is possible, but a beautiful day is in store for us tomorrow. Make sure you take those layers as you head out the door tomorrow. Like we said, we're going to start pretty cool and then move into these warmer temperatures. But taking a look at our 7-day forecast, some beautiful temperatures are in the forecast for our weekend after we get past some chances for rain. Ben?
Thank you, Adriana. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you for watching. I'm Ben Schwartz. Be sure to stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at